Hey, is anyone on Zoom? There's usually set up for Zoom. Oh, you've got it there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so good morning, everyone. The meditation session will be a little bit shorter than it normally is so that we can have a turnaround for Geshe Sherab will be teaching at 11 a.m. So until the next 45 minutes or so, we can relax and settle in. Looks like you're doing that anyway. All right, so we'll do a calm abiding meditation on the breath, followed by a more like analytical meditation in relation to the topic that Geshe Sherab's been teaching on karma. So we'll top and tail like that with a little break in between. Okay. Seats. Okay, so settling down, settling in into your preferred meditation posture, which is one that where the body is in a state of balance and well grounded, well supported by the earth below. Feel that the earth element in your body through the, the sort of pelvis and your legs, through the soles of your feet, especially if you're sitting on the chairs, that you feel that support coming up from the earth element below, feeling that connection, well grounded. As the Buddha said, strong like a mountain, that we're wider at the base and then tapering up to the top. Allow your body to feel that stable, secure support, that sense of stability and groundedness, reassuring the body you can just settle in, settle down. And then, of course, we have the opportunity to also have our spine in alignment, like one straight line. So that might involve tilting the pelvis forward. Like, for example, I've got a back of a chair behind me, but not leaning back, sort of finding a conducive state of balance. So you've got your skeleton supporting you, your spine supporting you, and the muscles can soften, take a break, relax, just relinquish their weight to gravity, enabling you to settle down more deeply. And then drawing your awareness into the space of the body, withdrawing from our sensory engagement with the world around us, which got us here. But now, our eyes can take a break and just rest in the sockets in a soft gaze. Don't need them for meditation. They can just take a break. And as you settle your mind into the space of the body, facilitating settling in the present moment by bringing your awareness to the breath, just as it is. Your body knows how to breathe itself. We're not changing anything there. Just simply allowing the mind to settle enough to just dwell in each moment of the breath in and each moment of the breath out and the spaces between. Particularly with the breath out, getting that sense of further release, relax, unwinding any tension, tightness, particularly around the face, softening all the muscles, around the eyes, around the jaw and so forth, around the shoulders. And allow your body to settle more deeply into a state of relaxation, comfort and ease. Then to inviting your mind to settle down more deeply, bringing your mind, whenever it forgets what it's doing or goes off to sounds or thoughts or memories or plans or any other mental activity. We don't want to stop the mental activity. We simply want to return our awareness to focus on the breath as our primary focus without squeezing the mind, without tightening the body. So as soon as we're aware that the mind is getting caught up somewhere else, first of all, fantastic, rejoice that you noticed. And then just relax the energy around whatever that distraction is. It doesn't matter what it is, just relax the energy around that, let it settle. And with the breath in, slightly tighten your focus and refresh your attention on the breath. So you're finding your own balance there, as the Buddha said, between a slight tension and relaxation, so that like a bow plays a beautiful stringed instrument, it's beautifully in tune, our body and our mind dwelling in a state of balance. Simply the breath. And paying particular attention to the breath in the abdomen, the natural rise and fall of the abdomen. You can think that it's like the natural rise and fall of the tides on a pristine, still mountain lake. Imagine up in the Himalayas, right at the very source of the great rivers, this pristine, crystal clear water and just the natural rise and fall of the tide, so that the abdomen like that. And any time your mind gets distracted, it's like the ripples coming across the surface, disturbing that sort of smooth spaciousness. If you notice that, allow your mind, invite your mind to settle down more deeply into the depths where it's completely still, clear, cool, refreshing. You notice any tension, tightness creep in again, just notice. Breathe into that area and bring a sense of spaciousness and coolth, and let that tightness, that tension dissolve into the breath out, melt away, really savoring the letting go, the settling down, the settling in, coming to a state of balance and ease. Feeling that groundedness to the earth below, bring our energy down as far as possible in our body, enhances this sense of stability. So relaxation, stability. And then on top of that, we cultivate in meditation, particularly in calm abiding meditation, a sense of clarity of the mind. So continuing to focus on the breath, but bringing your awareness up higher in the body. So awareness of the breath, placing your awareness just on above the upper lip, just below the nostrils there. Inviting your awareness to settle into that spot and just notice any sensations with the breath in and out of the nostrils. We're not flowing the breath in and out, simply being aware of maybe the cooler air as you breathe in, warmer air as you breathe out, or a slight flaring of the nostrils, maybe a tickling, or awareness of the passage of the breath, of the air coming into your body, becoming breath, and then going out, a warmer breath. And, allow your attention to stay all the way to the very end of the breath out. There might be a stillness before the next breath arises. So in essence, we're dwelling in each moment of breath as it arises as the nostrils, as there's a turnaround, as the breath out, as we exhale, and not jumping ahead, dwelling in each moment all the way to the very end, savouring this breath of life. Each moment is a new moment of breath, and letting go of all other thoughts and so forth. Simply the breath, simply the breath. Just keeping that sense of spaciousness and relaxation you've cultivated, not tightening up, but allowing the mind to settle more. So we become more and more aware. Just the breath. Gathering in whatever has been beneficial here in this brief time of settling our mind in its natural state. Stillness, relaxation, stability, alertness, clarity. I think may those qualities imbue our mind as we go throughout the day with the benefits of this meditation carrying on, lingering on the time beyond the time when the meditation is over. And so then we're going to move into the second phase of analytical meditation. If you're fine to keep going without needing to stretch or change your posture, that's very beneficial. But if you feel like you need to stretch something out or adjust, please feel free to do so. So, Geshe Sherab has been teaching on this topic of karma. We've all heard of karma, whether we're at the teachings or not. And one thing was that when the Buddha taught about karma, he often used symbols and agricultural terms and talked about the seeds in our garden and so forth. So we're going to take a journey into our karma garden. When I say seeds, that they're like the karma, that the karma meaning action, but the karmic imprint that sort of like abides on our subtle mind stream. It's talked about like a karmic seed. It's not an actual physical seed. These are just symbols, you know, it's just like an idea of a imprint or a tendency of our mind or so forth. So it's not a literal thing, but it's to get at the analogy. So this is to get at the experience or understanding of karma. So we can set our motivation here to have a better understanding of karma. We're wanting to understand karma better so we can avoid those actions of body, speech and mind that trip us up and cause us harm, and if unchecked cause others harm and not beneficial. And of course to cultivate more and more those beneficial states of mind which precede our actions and our speech. As the Buddha said in the Dhammapada, just the opening verses, mind is the forerunner of all states. Mind is the chief. Mind made are they. If you speak or act with an impure mind, suffering follows like the wheel that follows the cart pulling the ox. The cart pulling ox, sorry. The ox is pulling the cart, and like the wheel follows the ox, the wheel of the cart, that karma follows. Mind is the forerunner of all states. Mind is chief. Mind made are they. If you speak or act with a pure mind, happiness follows, like your shadow that never leaves. So we're going to go on an exploration, as I said, of our karma garden, our karmic park, if you like. So visualize that you're walking along the path, along these stepping stones that lead to your karma garden. Open the gate and enter the garden and have a look around. At the far end is an orchard with various fruit trees. So we know that the fruit tree doesn't appear or disappear quickly. It tends to stay put relative to the rest of the garden, like flowers and so forth. So the ripened fruit of the fruit trees represents your throwing karma, the karma that determines what sort of life you have in terms of what form we take here as humans. So it could be as human, it could be as animal, could be as hell beings, could be as hungry ghosts, could be as spirits, could be as gods. So here we are, born human. And that's a result of, at the end of our previous life, even we can't remember it, following the dissolution of the elements, the earth and water, fire, air, and then of the mind, more and more subtle levels of mind. There was a very strong mental imprint that dominated or, ripened fully, encouraged by whatever mental state was predominant in our mind at the time of our previous life. And that propelled us into this life. And we'd have to say that we were born human means that that's on the basis just human, without recognizing the particular qualities of a precious human rebirth or perfect human rebirth as a result of being a good ethical person in past lives, and that's ripened now. So like the fruit tree, it's a long-term fixed result, however long our lifespan. So contemplate how being born human, having this human, sort of being born human, having this life, shapes the way you experience this life. Your experience as being human. And not only human, but indeed having this precious human rebirth, having the, all the conditions coming together of not being born in lower realms, and also of having this, not just the opportunity to come to a Dharma centre and meditate and study and learn and meet with Geshe Sherab and have such a qualified Lama and so forth, all these, but the wish to do that we come here because we will want to, because we see the benefits. All this is rare and precious of this human life. And imagine how that would be different, say, if you were born an animal or a hell being, or in the God realms where it's all, sort of cushy and so forth, or maybe with a bit of complacency, or in the hungry ghost realm where there's like craving, addiction, and so forth. How would your life be different if you weren't human, in other words? And around the edges of your garden are flower beds, beautiful flowers, ornamental plants. Go for it, visualize, be creative. And these represent like the background of your life, your environmental karma, we say. The things in the world that maybe we think are unrelated to us or unrelated personally, such as the weather or political events or wars or, things that happen in the world. But how we experience this, how this appears to us, everything, is also appears as a result of our past actions and the imprints of those actions that are laid down on your mind. So that everything appears in a certain way because we have the propensity to experience things in that way. All our good experiences in life, being born human, enjoying good health, healthy body, healthy mind, having enough to eat, having resources, people being kind to us. All of that is a result of our positive seeds ripening in our karma garden. And so we can feel joyful and aspire to continue to create such beauty in our flower garden. So just observe, what kind of environment do I live in? And then turn your attention to the vegetable garden. In the vegetable garden, there's crops like corn, beans, or so forth that yield a harvest. the harvest that's yielded is the same as the seeds you planted. It has to be the corn seeds to bring the corn, and the bean, you plant a bean, the very seed of the bean plant, and you harvest beans to eat. Doesn't bring some other result. So this represents a karma of our habits, the results similar to the cause, the tendencies we have towards certain thoughts or types of ways of thinking, certain words, language, certain physical actions, our interests, our tendencies, our preferences. And this is that karma ripening because we've done similar types of things before, not only in this life, but in previous lives. So you can think about how that's unique to you. Even members of your family may be all different. We've done it before, we do it again, the cycle continues. So those of us who have children maybe or grandchildren can observe how they come into this life with their own distinctive personality or temperament and actions, ways of acting. Sadly, there are some children who enjoy killing animals, for example. And there might be others who are horrified by killing. There might be others still that want to save the lives of animals. So whichever, this comes from past life habits of killing or not killing or saving lives and so forth. So just observe what kind of habits and mental tendencies do I have. And of course, there's those that we've built up in this life too. We might have given up some destructive habits like smoking or drinking or so forth if they're left unchecked. But just think in terms of the mind, what habits, what mental tendencies do I have? What sorts of thoughts and emotions dominate my mind? Just to observe. This is not a judgment call, just to notice. And there are other rows of vegetables like lettuce and carrots, where the seed is not the harvested part yet. The seed that was planted causes the harvested part. This is what we call experiences similar to the causes. Again, in the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, even small meritorious acts bring happiness for future lives, accomplishing a great purpose, like seeds becoming bounteous crops. So the lettuce, the carrots, these bounteous crops represent the type of karma that ripens as things that happen to you directly, the experiences you have. So if we did something to harm someone or some being in a past life, that we may experience that harm ripening in this life, so that karma is individual. So if we're experiencing some harm, some difficulties, some problems, we can't remember what we might have done in past lives, but it probably means that we've done a similar thing to others in past lives, for better or worse. So if you're wealthy now and means you were generous and supported others in the past. If you're regarded as attractive now, that's a result of patience. And you being born attractive is exactly that, attracting others to you. And those of us as Dharma practitioners, we want to be like that. Now, one of the previous Karmapas wasn't very apparently attractive looking by the standards of the day. And he made a vow to always come back as being very attractive. It seems to have worked. Of course, we may feel like I can't make that happen without help. But we can practice patience. If we think, what's the opposite? An impatient, angry mind is creates a very ugly face. But patience creates beauty. And think that to attract people and beings to us for the sake of the Dharma. Just like the leaves of the lettuce, which correspond to the ripening of the precise seed that was planted, you also get a result that corresponds to the seeds you planted in your mind stream. So think about this in terms of what kind of tendencies, experiences do I tend to have? Are these, what do they show me, these experiences, about my actions in past lives, even though we can't remember, but we can give us some hints, whether virtuous, non-virtuous, harmful, peaceful, loving, kind. So just dwell on the kinds of experiences, maybe that tend to predominate your life. And then sit down on a bench in your garden and let it all sink in. The orchard, which is the karma that propelled you into this life, the fruit trees, the ripening result. The ornamental plants and flowers around the edges forming the background, the environment of your life, your environmental karma. The seed crops, which are your karmic habits, the results, similar to the cause from the past. And the other vegetable crops, which correspond precisely to those seeds you planted in the past, your experiences in this life, similar to that cause of those karmic seeds ripening. So take in your whole garden. You make a commitment in your mind to learn more, study more about how karma works. So you can come back again to your garden and add more details to your garden. Plant the seeds you want to in the place you want to. Committing yourself to continue to engage in positive, virtuous actions, beneficial actions for yourself and others with your body, speech, and mind. Your actions, your speech, your thoughts, to continue to do beneficial acts, to create happiness and good experiences for your future lives. And resolve to clear away any rotten seeds that have grown in your garden, any weeds that are cramping the style of your beautiful flowers and ornamental plants and the crops. To clean up, basically, past and present negative karmic seeds in the garden of your mind. And to protect and grow the flowers and fruits of good karma. Allowing your innate beauty, your wholesomeness to flourish. To protect your good karmic seeds in your garden from being destroyed. And we do that by dedicating all that's been beneficial from this reflection on karma. By dedicating that benefit and all our practice and study to the enlightenment of all beings. We can get up from our bench, metaphorically, in the garden, take one last look around, come to the gate and say goodbye to our karma garden for now. Of course, we're not leaving it behind, really. Coming to the park entrance. With that, we can draw our session to a close. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings experience every joy, everything their hearts desire. May all beings live in peace and safety. May I be responsible for this by myself alone. May I continue to cultivate the beautiful, nutritious crops and fruits and flowers and ornamental plants in my karma garden. We're gathering together all the positive energy to continue to grow and grow in our mind. All that is beneficial and helpful and kind for the welfare of all beings, and allow that to, all those qualities to linger throughout the day ahead, long after this meditation's finished. And when you're ready, Just gently open your eyes, adjust to the light and sights around you, happy and refreshed. So we'll have a break. Those of you who have come just for meditation, if you wish to stay even till lunchtime or so, as you know, the rest of the day, everyone's welcome. I appreciate that people probably have other things on for the day, but everyone's welcome. Still time for a cuppa and a chat before Geshe will join us at 11. Thank you.